All right, we are back to Trakoria. Back to the future. No, the Trakorian... Okay, yeah. I don't know what I'm doing tonight. I'm just improvising as I go along and hope it looks good on the TV cameras or YouTubes or sounds good on Spotify. Hey everyone, welcome back to Sulphur Winter and the intermission in between book 1 and book 2 of this tetralogy. With us tonight we have the agents, or today, or yeah, it's night where I am, so I'm gonna count that. And we will be joined soon by one of them in a moment. So I'm going to start on the other side of the spread this time, which is in fact right above me on the overlay, which is John. Who are you playing tonight? Today? To this time?
I will be Promos Gol Monda, a guy with a boat from Turnasmira. And the Duke Rovendo Allesella, the Emperor's younger brother.
Indeed. And on my, what was that, left side? Is in fact Princess Folda, I believe. Or is it Lady Brythanni tonight?
Well, hi, I'm temporarily the only Jessica in the frame. I will be playing at various points Princess Folda, a Fortress Lord, and Lady Brythanni Wallace-Waite, her chief lady in waiting, plus assorted NPCs, if I understanding tonight's plan correctly.
Yeah, there will be assorted NPCs for sure. And then we have Sin, in fact, surrounded by the Jays. I took you literally just before we, started the recordings.
Meh, means I have you all right where I want to. I'm playing Lady Taralese da Bravaleti and also Duchess Klenora da Spinalunga. And of course, various sundry NPCs as required.
Indeed. And then we have Josh.
Hey folks, my name's Josh Lapointe, and I'm playing Erald de Mereld. And as mentioned previously, also by the other Shadow players here, also going to be playing various NPCs this evening.
Yep. And we will soon be joined by Jessica Lapointe, Praanz da Kaelve, General nowadays. General. Yes. In a moment. Yes, we are, as I mentioned, in intermission. And that means that we're covering a longer time frame than usual. I guess in some games this would be called like downtiming or what have you. In essence, the events of Marjura have played out. Book 2 has not started yet. And things are happening in between these two books. And we are doing the Game of Shadows on Discord, and each turn right now is 3 months, a quarter of a year, and we will use this intermission to get some snapshots and scenes from what's going on for all these interesting individuals across Trakoria during that time. So what we will do this session is going through those 3 months of the year, which are, of course, for everyone who wants to know what the names of the months are. Some of us keep track of that. I don't actually keep track of it, but I have a cheat list here. The names of the months 7, 8, and 9 in Trakoria are Minde, Melendo, and Birdo, respectively. I am completely incorrect. It's Melendo, Birdo, and Giren. I'm sorry. There we go. Melendo, Birdo, and Giren. And so these 3 months is when we are going to visit these different people, and this will be Unlike in Book 1, Intermission is slightly more freeform and sandboxy, because I have a feeling there will be a lot of shenanigans and things that the players will come up with. I know that when we played the last session with the adventurers, I had things planned, and I think one of the things I planned actually came up during the session, and it was 90% their shenanigans that I was completely unprepared for. Probably shouldn't have been. I'm not going to spoil anything now. The word of their shenanigans will come out to Trakoria sooner or later, I'm sure. And we'll see how exactly. But the point is, this is going to be very much player-led in many ways. And I do have some notes, because some of you gave me some ideas of what you want to do. And I have a feeling that we might want to go first to Princess Folda. But before we do that, I will in fact go over for each of us, each of you, what your present shadow command might be for your various agents. So I'm going to start actually with Josh. You mentioned on Discord that your shadow command right now for Erald, so Sambarsun's, the Inquisition's orders for Erald is to investigate the DiFolts guild in Illiboria, right? Was that the correct interpretation there? I'll put that inside your in your shadow command. So instead of investigate the Shagulites, it's investigate the DiFolts. And I can just switch the label there from Shagulites to DiFolts.
It's just so easy, exactly.
Isn't it?
Replace one with the other. It's, you know.
So we're gonna devote a scene to you visiting Illiboria this session, but maybe not the first thing we do. How about Taralese? What would... I'm just kind of randomizing depending on which character sheet happens to be close by here. What might the Duchess order Taralese to do next?
Well, it seems like there might be some infighting going on within the new sphere. Mm-hmm. I think we might stand to benefit from helping that along.
Helping the new sphere collapse from inside?
Exactly.
That sounds right up your alley, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. And let's see what kind of command we might have from Princess Folda to Lady Brythanni.
So Lady Brythanni is engaged in trying to secure the support of at least one other shadow power for Princess Folda's claims. I'm working with a bit of a tough crowd here, but...
Another shadow power. Okay, cool. That sounds like a worthwhile task. Lady Brythanni, there we go. I'm trying to get the pronunciation right. Obviously, you have a Palamoxy pronunciation, and I might have, like, I don't know, from the Chalk Lands or something. It's one fun thing to listen to the writer of this setting. There are so many different pronunciations of names, even in Sweden. When Swedes are playing this, there are all sorts of variants of everything. Some people say Tricilve, some people say Tricilve. I think I've heard 3 different pronunciations of Fontasilor, and he keeps saying it's all correct because it's a very diverse empire and all sorts of pronunciations. So clearly, you know, John will be speaking with the accent from Gol Monda, right?
Promos talks with the kind of accent from somebody who's far, far away from everyone else. It's a lot of different places spattered in.
Yes. What might be his orders from Allesella?
I think Allesella's big push is just to send promos to just kind of gauge the common people and see what they think of how things are running in the Empire. I think he uses promos more than anything as an amusement and as a thermometer for the common man.
Right. Yes, it's kind of like the Imperial walkabout that, what was it? Was it Caesar Augustus who used to do it? When you dress yourself as not the sovereign and you can just walk among the common people. Except
Shakespeare it's doing it.
Yeah, he doesn't do it himself, of course. Why would he? We will see. And of course, when Praanz arrives, I will ask a similar question there. Now, we do know that the Princess Folda has planned an enormous banquet or I don't know, enormous. Fontrasilor. It could be, it might not be.
This little thing, I just threw this together at the last minute.
Right, exactly. So maybe we should go there first to Fontrasilor. I think this is something that happens early in this time period. Probably middle of Melendo, / July. Would that be correct?
Yeah, I think we'd fixed on late July, early August.
Yeah. So, Fontrasilor, the wretched hive of scum and villainy. I always say that, but that's because it's true. And, did I? Yes, I managed to switch the map. Woohoo! In fact, I do have a map for your banquet, all prepared. And so normally, when I give out NPCs to different players to play, I can reward them with a fate die from the chalice. Can't do that now because the chalice is all empty. Mostly because I grabbed some of them. Maybe I'll give you anyway because I'm a nice guy.
The chalice is empty and mine is the first scene up.
Yep.
I'm in danger.
Yes. I was gonna ask you who you might want to play for this scene as an NPC, because I'm thinking that none of the others here will actually attend this. I don't see why Lady Taralese will cross the Trakorian Sea for.
Sure is not invited.
That too, though rumor might spread, and the General da Kaelve definitely will not be there.
No, also not invited.
Also not invited. Erald has absolutely no reason to be in attendance, so we have a lot of good reasons for
the
various...
Inquisition is more likely to be invited than the General.
But that doesn't say very likely, right? It just says less unlikely.
That is not saying very much at all, no.
Yeah. But I have
I mean, they're the Diggerlunga. They invite themselves. They're like the CIA.
No one expects.
This is true. Absolutely true. No, I have a few interesting fellas and ladies that can attend and make life more interesting, dramatic for the Toastmaster. I think Brythanni is going to be the Toastmaster, maybe-ish, if that's a role. I don't know.
Yeah. She will immediately have a goblet that is refilled several times and quickly be stumbling around, laughing at things that are not very funny.
Yes. Okay, I have not done the scene correctly configured here with lightning, clearly. Oh, that's why. Is that what I want to do? No, I know what I want to do. Sorry. Takes just a moment for me to fix it so I can see things as well. No, not that one. Now I have to decide which character to Oh, there we go. This is good.
You made it!
Yay! Okay, that still doesn't work well. I'm
There we
sorry.
go.
Good. I have my first technical hiccup at the same time here, so we're all good.
My kid's nightlight decided to shit the bed as I was changing its color. So that's always fun.
Indeed. Interesting times, etc. Wow, now everything disappeared. Oh, no? Okay, I'll do it that way instead. Now we can see. That's better. Okay, yes, Jessica, welcome to the party. Literally.
Thanks,
We're gonna
Alex.
do a scene here with it's Princess Folda's debutante ball. And I'm
lovely.
gonna give each of you an NPC to play because General de Kaelve definitely will not be there. This is Palamux, and this is the
Not unless
person
things go very, very wrong.
unless things go very, very wrong. And this is the person who claims to be the heir of the Clavikian Empire, so I think, yeah, she will probably be high on the list of people to arrest for General de Kaelve, or, well, not yet. Not high enough to bother
I feel
to
like I'm not
prosecute.
that high compared to...
Just because someone makes a claim doesn't make her a threat, right?
Comparison to the adventurers?
Right? So I have a few...
Like, they're on Praanz's most wanted list.
I would bet they would be, yes. So I have a few ideas here for people. And you're gonna get to decide who wants to do which one. And let's see now, where did I go with that? Oh, right, it was in the general player chat. I actually put it out for you guys before. I have to scroll to find it again. There we go. Nope, that wasn't the one. Why did I put that?
It's in the agents one. It's not.
Is
that
it in
far
the
up.
age? Oh, it's in the agents one. Okay, I am totally confused tonight. I do apologize. So, Lady Bruktibra Nemblia Dakrolsa, elder of the venerable Nemblia family. I have put her. She's the old lady up top here. I'm moving it right now. That one.
Please read in the correct pronunciation of her name, because I'm sure Folda would get it right. I, however, am not going to.
And say it 3
Bruktibra-
times fast.
Yeah, as I said, accents vary. We have Professor da Kremse, or Syntald da Kremse, who is well known as a very important academic in the Academy of Fontrasilor. Pashishu Breyer Mortensnarg da Nontonia. He's a visiting noble from Paratorna who actually...
Oh, he did come.
Yes, he did come.
No.
Lady Herondot Grismal da Jarmalda is a Nouveau-riche condottiere. And we have Zerfastild Coramonda Tabar, a non-binary fencing master. And Lord Lampazia Diastri de Holmanda. They all have long names. He's 11 and an heir to an important family. So he's there too. Does any of this... Who sounds interested in what?
Who wants to play the small child?
You want the small child there, Jess?
No, that was a joke, Mikhail.
Okay.
That was a joke.
No,
You're
no.
allowed to.
It's a way for you to act out your anger at your own child and their own impertinence.
Yes, yes.
I don't think
believe
I
in
need that much
nothing.
therapy, but thanks.
So who wants to grab something?
Take-
Anyone interested in Lady Bruktibra? Is her name too
Sure,
complicated?
I'll take that one.
That was Jessica Lapointe?
Yes.
Very good. Okay, Lady Bruktibra in Fontrasilor, I will give you ownership of that character, because that way you can actually move the thing around. And I'm going to send you a message about her potential motives. So you know what to aim for. There we go. Who wants the incredibly arrogant Paratornian? Apparently nobody.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
It's kind of like being handed a political time bomb, though, isn't it?
Yep.
I mean, I feel like it would be kind of
A lot of people are saying that.
typecast.
11-year. Okay, I'm gonna give the incredibly arrogant Paratornian to Josh just because he hasn't played that very much before.
Ah, fun. Okay.
Yes. I'll just
You
hand
can
things
well,
out
you
now.
just haven't seen it yet.
I'll just hand things out now. There we go. That's how you do it, right?
Exactly.
Yes. Josh, owner, there. And of course, he is. I'll give you an instruction as well. That's it. 11-year-old. I think I'm gonna give John the 11-year-old, or if you want the academy fella instead.
I will play anyone you want to throw my way.
All right, let's go with Lord Lampatia, 11 years old.
All right.
There we go, and each instruction is like 2 sentences max, and
Excellent.
that gives us Sin. How about you grab Lady Herandot Grismalda Yarmalda?
Sure,
It's
why
not-
not?
A mouthful at all. There, and
Is her shtick that she insists you pronounce her entire name?
yes, it is.
I feel like if we're all saying each other's full names, we'll be here all night.
I mean, how many middle names does Princess Folda have that you'll need to announce while drunk?
There we go.
Those who are sort of who notice such things see it's almost like a dance, really, where Folda is kind of deftly maneuvering her dress and train to avoid her lady in waiting sort of clumsy, staggering steps. It's pretty clear she is used to this.
Yes, what can these guests expect as they arrive to this estate? Let us set the scene. Fontrasilor, the city of ruins. This will be close to the riverfront, because that is where the remaining actually possible to use estates are. And any of these people having their own estates will not stray too far from that shoreline. Because doing so will be perilous in this place.
Are any of the characters here our gracious host for this evening? Because Craiglinda Castle is a ruin, so it's sure not there.
It is indeed not there. Yes, why don't we make, just because I'm thinking on my feet, Lady Brooktebra is the host for the evening.
Welcome then, I guess.
Lady Brooktebra, so kind of you to do this. I do so appreciate it.
Of course. What are we without friends? Please, do make yourselves at home.
I do love what you've done with the place.
One calls this a home.
Well, one does what they can in times.
Oh, you see, I've been being drilled in Paratorian etiquette. I'm sure that when they say such things, it's meant as a compliment.
No. I jest. It's a beautiful estate. The crumbling attire is beautiful to appear at.
It's called rustic. It's a look.
Each venerable guest will, of course, be introduced by servants who are otherwise doing their level best to appear invisible, and, good servants are there when needed and otherwise easily ignored.
Yeah, so there were, I imagine there is music, there is dancing, and there is likely a room sort of set aside for cards and getting more quietly drunk than the rest of the individuals might do. The loud drunks have their own separate area.
It's called the smoking room.
Mm-hmm. And there's also other types of rooms, I'm sure, for later on with, softer things to spread out on.
Lights, softer lights.
Yes.
Thick walls.
That too.
Yes.
Very thick walls.
Folda had arrived with quite the entourage, several ladies in waiting, including Lady Brythanni, a sort of an odd-looking scholar who immediately flees to the library at first chance that he gets, and her economic advisor, Vaudeville Scoffer, who is probably desperately looking around for somebody to talk business with.
Oh,
You,
yes.
Travel with quite the entourage, don't you?
Expectations, you understand.
That I do understand.
I must say, it is a delight to be surrounded by so many kind and helpful people.
Yes, I can imagine. Kind and
I do hope you won't be too offended by Master Kaelve. I quite insisted he come. He needs to get out more. But he's not really a people person.
Oh, that's fine. I'm used to academics, dear.
Magister Kaelin looks like so. But he will quickly disappear and move to a different room. There is an interesting contrast between different people here in terms of their appearance, of course. Iralobi da Kremse, being an academic, is dressed in scholarly robes. Lady Herondot might be armored, even?
It's probably some pretty fancy looking leather armor. It looks nice. It's oiled. It's clean.
Mm-hmm.
Blood spots are at least hidden.
Mm-hmm. She will have some scars crisscrossing her face. Sometimes, apparently, her opponents have managed to give her a bit of a nick here and there with their blades.
It's a good sign. Means that you are a good mercenary.
You know, there was a dress code for tonight's event. I mean, it wasn't much of a dress code, but there was a dress code.
What? It is dress. It is to code.
That's not what a dress code means, dear.
Sure it
Roll
is.
her eyes and...
You nobles are so picky.
You let anybody in here?
Anybody with money.
So curious, how do you get it to shine so? Folda is addressing the mercenary whose name I have already forgotten the pronunciation of.
Harandot Grismalda Yarmalda. It's not that hard. And lots of oil. Lots and lots of oil. You know, they can be tricky to get, but sea serpent oil can be very good if you can get it.
I see.
If I may, Lady Harandot,
Yes.
would you be willing to engage in a match for entertainment with Fastilde?
Fastilde is also dressed like a fencer. Not strange, because Fastilde is a fencer. Now, getting closer to the middle years, Fastilde is slightly rounder along the waistline than someone like Lady Hernalot, but still rumored to be formidable in their own right. They kind of glare at Lord Lampatia. I do not do this for show.
Oh, come now. It's always fun when there is an audience around to see you be able to show off all your hard work.
Maybe you could use the practice.
Hernadot does snicker a little at that.
Y'all have met 11-year-olds. Those things are mean.
Yep.
They're nasty.
How Paratornian.
Oh, come now. We get a few drinks in us, let the others get some drinks in themselves as well, and then we can give them a show, no? Oh, this is all good fun. No money on this, unless you want it to be.
We, Palamoxi, we, fight for honor, not for money. Duty paramount. Blessed Shamash knows our heart.
My late grandmother often spoke of such things. It is proud history that we are heir to.
Proud history of being boring at parties, perhaps. Well then, if the Master Swords person fights only for honor and duty, are either of those things here?
Fastilda will glare at Lady Herondot. Surely not.
Oh, come now. You're the one that doesn't want to have a little bit of a show.
So, where was the entertainment for this evening? It was promised
Apparently
entertainment.
right here, with the Shamashi. You know, maybe he'll show us a really good trick. Pull the stick out of his ass.
The original entertainment, I do believe, was boar fights and music.
Oh, this fight is becoming very bore.
I can display the true martial prowess of the ancient Clavicians, whose arts are still held in high regard in these parts.
Blah,
But
blah,
not
blah.
for
I am
money.
old man.
Play. Well, you don't have to get any money. That doesn't stop us from taking bets.
Fastilda will walk to the center, unsheathe the blade, and start performing some kind of routine. Looks almost like a dance.
Lovely. I suppose that's not something to say about something so dangerous, is it?
Of course it's dangerous. There is swords involved.
Admittedly, if I were being killed by a swordsman, I should like to be killed beautifully. Much preferable to the alternative.
Oh, certainly. It will be much faster.
Ends the routine by saluting the crowd. There.
That like slow, awkward clap.
Oh, goody. You know how to fight ghosts, no?
Well, that happens to be useful skill in Fontrasalor.
So I was going to say, I suspect my ancestral estates are quite haunted.
So is it more impressive if there are ghosts?
Usually. The boar fights are this way.
Ghosts are, like, taken for granted in Fontrasalor. Not always active, though. Just particularly active on the Day of the Undead. Which is...
Is that recently?
No, it's going to come in the fall. If I recall correctly.
Encourages the academic to speak to her at length about whatever it is that he's studying while she pretends to listen with rapt fascination.
Oh, yes, he will indeed be absolutely riveting company, or rather not. In fact, should we have our first roll for the evening as Lady Brythanni might try to ascertain what the good academic wants.
Sure. What am I rolling?
Not you. Lady Brythanni, not Brooke Tibra. I used two B's. I shouldn't have.
Which one am I?
You're Toastmaster. Yeah, you're the old one. I'm talking about the blonde one.
You're the matriarch.
You're the matriarch. Yes, I'm talking about the blonde Toastmaster.
Oh, I thought I was the blonde. That's okay.
No,
Blonde, gray.
Yeah.
They're both out of the bottle.
Yes.
True. This is true. Okay. I was gonna say I don't see the matriarch here.
My water is sort of blacked out.
It is 3, in fact.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna address that soon. I just haven't had the time this week. I got bottlenecked by map making for all the games at once, Cthulhu and Genla Balfa and everything. 3 days for Lady Brythanni.
My Foundry is being very slow at the moment. I apologize. Come on. Mikhail, could you possibly roll for me? This is...
I can.
Not,
2 6s. How about that?
Goodness.
Good thing I rolled, wasn't it? Where am I? There am I. I'm sorry. I'm looking up things here.
So what does he
we
want? And why is it great?
He also is very skilled at talking to people. And I will roll his water, which is also 3, actually.
Oh my.
Yes, he is a very skilled speaker for being an academic.
Ouch.
But didn't roll nearly as good. I should have marked his token there. But still, that is... you have all the successes and he doesn't. He has like 1. Yeah, he goes on and on about absolutely interesting, amazing things in the focal planes. There might be some fascinating archaeological evidence there. You should not listen to other syntolds at the Academy who speak of Christo Calidus' final resting place being in Tremenza. This is completely incorrect. Instead, we should look to the focal planes, and I think I know exactly where. Now, if I could only find a patron who could fund such an expedition, you see.
And what is it that you would expect to find? Can you tell me exactly?
I expect to find remains of our ancient Clavician civilization, you see. I expect that we should find further proof of the provenance of your most illustrious hostess. I'm speaking of the Princess Folda, of course, and her quite impressive lineage. Yes, I could produce that if I could access the right, if you will, sites. Yes.
Well, that is certainly interesting, and I do know that the Princess is very keen on supporting scholarship of earlier history.
Quite, yes. Yes, that is exactly it. Yes, that's yes.
Shall I set you up an appointment for an audience?
Oh, I would be most grateful. It would be splendid indeed. Yes, brilliant. Yes.
Alrighty. So I imagine as the boar fight is going on, Brythanni is sort of circulating around the room, sort of kind of trying to suss out pretty much everybody else.
Yep.
In like manner.
Why don't we do more rolling then?
But
I think we should do some more rolling. Shall I roll for you again, or is it still like?
I'm only now getting the noise from the sixes, so yes.
Dear. Okay, I'll roll again.
I'm just gonna go ahead and I'll close out and reload because this is ridiculous.
Okay, that's okay. Yeah, because I have a feeling that there might be one or two people who wants to speak to the good lady. Meanwhile, I think Fastilda will cast less than appreciative glares at Lady Herondot.
She'll just occasionally blow kisses. Just completely unfazed by this.
There are probably other guests around, and Fastilda will speak to them, and they will be very, very much impressed by Fastilda, given their name, their reputation, and about how true artists of the sword do not rent out their services for mere money. But what can we expect from Paratornians?
The princess herself is likely to sort of approach the old-fashioned swords person, asking if she knew her late grandmother, and sort of speaking about the old days, while Brythanni attends the boar fights and gets super into it.
Mm-hmm. I should mention that Pashishu's attire is the latest Paratornian such. It is a vest more than a jacket, which leaves Pashishu's chest completely bare, of course. the sleeves hang and leaves. It's very hot in July in Fontasolor. Leaves the arms naked as well. They are algae silk, of course, and a lot of body paint all across the chest. Snirkly is sort of circling up around the throat, the neck, and probably an absolutely amazing wig. What could that wig look like, Josh?
Well, it's a great question because I don't know if we're going truly like that's what I was just going to say. Is it very Georgian, where it's like the really large?
Yeah, height is the thing right now.
Yeah,
I'm interested in that.
okay. So then, yes, definitely huge, absolute large Georgian wig. Almost, maybe not as tall as like Marge Simpson's height, but like a good 2 feet. Have to duck to go through doorways,
Such a living bird.
It just might be a living bird in there. Is there a living bird in there?
You know what? Sure, let's go ahead and say that there is.
Nobody else here is dressed like that. Everybody else has much more practical vestments.
You'll all come up. We'll come up. You really have to try this vintage. And she'll hand him a glass of booze. And I say booze because it's very indeterminate of actually like what type of alcohol it is. It's just strong.
Who is she giving this to? Is it to Shishu?
Yeah.
So yeah, Shu will actually go ahead and.
That's a very unique taste.
Yes,
Very unique taste indeed.
Yes. Where did you brew this out of, or what did you brew it in? It's.
Oh, I have my secrets.
Very irony.
Delicious. Thank you.
Very sweet. With like a aftertaste of moonshine.
Oh gosh.
Lady Brythanni is probably a huge fan.
Yeah, at that point, as soon as Lady Tibra is not actually looking, he'll immediately find a spot to put it down and not touch it again for the rest of the evening.
Of course. It is
Are we
not...
going to get the 11-year-old accidentally drunk? Is that what's going to happen?
We're just handing it out so the 11-year-old can absolutely have some.
Accidentally?
Yeah.
In fact, she will purposely walk over and hand him a glass.
He'll take it and kind of like sniff at it and like try one of those like little like.
So the way I imagine it is it smells like vanilla, but it tastes like vanilla
like
extract.
Oh, that's just mean.
So it's nasty, but it's strong. It's like cold medicine.
Yeah, he'll take like the barest taste and then no, thank you, respectfully, no. He'll pass it off to one of the servants.
And the servant
It's a
is
shame.
bowing and taking it, of course. Puts it on a tray.
She just continues to hand it out.
Iralobi
da Kremse the Syntald will take a glass just to impress everyone and is trying his level best to seem like he's enjoying it.
Hernadot will take one, just swish it around, and then just chug all in one go. Doesn't even taste it.
See, this is great. He manages to pretend that he enjoys it because he rolled 3 successes.
Nice.
Not the kind of booze you need to taste.
Lady,
I finally succeeded in rolling another water roll.
Yep. Oh, you did. Yes, indeed. This was with Lady Herondot, then maybe.
Sure.
Her being an actual leader of troops has also a high water, so I'm gonna give you 3 dice too. A nest of vipers. This is clearly.
Do you need me to roll 3d6?
Please do. I think everyone here has very high water. Oh, she is very good at concealing whatever she wants to conceal, I guess.
Alrighty, I guess I
yeah,
have
you
no
had
idea.
1 success and she has 3.
Goodness.
Yep.
Don't play cards with her.
Don't play cards with her. That tells me that yeah, there we go. Cool. And so goes the evening, slowly but surely, under these interesting tensions. Is there anyone who wants to engage with Princess Folda herself before the evening is over?
Yeah, Lampacia will. Having kind of watched her interact with folks through the night, he'll finally steal up and come up directly and say, "Father tells me that you no longer have your castle."
Yes, I'm rebuilding, of course, but it takes time.
And you will be requiring the aid of others in the area to do this? Alliances?
Well, it is always good to have friends.
And more than friends?
Why, yes. It is necessary to look to the future, of course.
And what kind of dowry would be required?
I fucking called it.
Kid don't play around.
Detail, and I was like, I'm gonna get hit on by an 11-year-old. This is what's gonna happen. Perhaps
You need a future. Marrying a princess is a worthy endeavor.
Yes, quite so. Perhaps you should have your people contact my people, and we could start the negotiations.
So far, I have been somewhat less than impressed by your people. The Lady Brythanni seems fun, albeit unreliable. I wish that I had gone with her to the boar fights instead of watching a man fight the air. But your other prospects, at least at this social gathering, involves a man with a bird living in his hair. I believe that I am doing rather well, despite my young age.
I would concur with your assessment, sir. And you are much more charming.
I understand that there will be a great deal of administration involved. Which one of your people should I be in contact with then?
My secretary.
And
I
he'll like,
of course have people for this. I certainly don't expect you to engage with this yourself, my lord.
I can use the practice on my penmanship.
I see. I think that's a water roll. So Folda is beginning to suspect this noble house is broke.
I am not at all sure that Lord Lampacia would have a lot of water, to be honest.
He has not presented like it.
I'll go with 2 dice for him. But then, Princess
So two for him.
Yeah.
I
I would like to also point out that he has not been drinking the vanilla death all night, so his mind is working.
Vanilla death. And it is indeed. 'cause
That's
he
what
has
we're
two
gonna call it
successes.
now. It's vanilla death.
It seems like he is very convincing.
Yes, I rolled terribly.
Yes, you did.
So no, he is not in fact in penury. He is just a lovely, helpful child who is not child, no, heir to an important house. Folda probably just straight up asked him if he wants to dance.
Unless you want to add, of course, a fate die to your roll because of your abilities.
I don't think so at this
Alright.
juncture.
Lampashia would love to dance.
So
I imagine that he's significally shorter than the princess. So
Yes.
so this is
This is
and
hilarious.
yeah, this is one of those like maybe like reaching up and holding hands, but like the dress keeps him like far enough away that this is mostly like her twirling around and him kind of like running in small circles.
Thankfully, Folda is herself not a very big person, so that is helpful. She is also, assuming dancing works off fire, really fucking good at this.
yes, it would work on fire. Yes,
So, she probably makes him look good.
probably. Yeah, I think the 11-year-old will in fact enjoy the party greatly and feel that it's a great success for him. Isn't that lovely?
He's
Did not
dancing
see
on her
that coming.
toes.
I understand that again. You are a princess. This is a complicated situation with a lot of moving political parts. I am planning for my future.
Well, you are quite charming, I must say. I am pleased to have made your acquaintance at last, having heard so much about you.
Will Lady Brooktibra try to recruit someone? Oh, that was Jess walking away. Sorry about that. Though I will say that looking at the time, we might want to
Yeah, I feel like we
go
should
on
move
to the next person and leave Princess Folda with her conundrum of now having to have her secretary talk to the young 11-year-old Lord Lampazia.
We'll exchange addresses. Like once he has accomplished okay, like this is something that can happen. We'll be pen pals. I'll write your people. Excellent. I'm getting in on those boar fights. They have cotton candy over there. And Lampashia is going to go take all of the money that he has like in his purse and throw it on bets for Lady Herondot.
Ooh.
Wow. Yes, the boar fights. You know what? I'm gonna be a generous person here because you've all been so lovely and give you each fate die for impersonating NPCs, which I believe is worthy of recognition. But that's the only time I can do that. Now I'm gonna probably give one to one more person because she's gonna play an NPC in a moment. Because I'm thinking that the next scene will take place. I will move out to the other map here, back to Trakoria. As we leave Fontrasilor behind. And when exactly might Erald be visiting Illiboria? In this time span of between Melendo, Birdo, and Giren, so July, August, September.
Probably late August. Yeah.
Late August. Okay.
Yep.
To backtrack a bit, because you did miss the last session, what happened when Erald actually got back from Marjura for him? I'm guessing that he kind of just disappeared from the rest of the crowd as the entire convoy came to Tricilve, and there was lots of attention and huge crowds seeing the sulfur convoy come in, and of course Praanz da Kaelve went off, did a bunch of official stuff, and so did Lady Taralese, and in fact they left the convoy early. A fisherman came by and picked them up. Lady Silesia, the widow of the procurator, had a chance to appear a hero and so on. But I'm not sure that Erald would stay for the pomp and circumstance around there.
No, if anything, Erald very much would try and separate as much space as possible between the illustrious group that he was with, and if anything, probably report home to his respective masters, for lack of better terms, and let them know of the situation that actually occurred. And then from there, see what next assignment awaits him.
The first ship to Safina, in other words. It doesn't take long at all to go from Tricilve to Safina. It's a matter of a few days. Depending on wind, of course. But in the summer, it's usually a fairly benign trip. And that's where he gets his next assignment, isn't it? To go up to Illiboria and investigate the DiFolts Guild. Yep. Now, that's an interesting place. And I think we should have a look at Skuger, which is, of course, where his investigations will lead him. Illiboria is a wretched place for this. Deserves a little bit of elaboration for people unfamiliar with Trakoria. It is overrun by the addiction to the opiander scourge. Opiander is a spice. And if you taste it to any food at all, ever, you will discover that it is the best thing you've ever eaten. Bar nothing else. Nothing else compares to the taste of opiander. And it's instantly addictive. So after that, you will want this spice for every meal. Until it becomes so overcoming for your urges there that you will stop eating the food and just eat the spice, or just chew on the spice itself. Which would be okay, I guess, in a sense, if you could live on that. But you can't. See, it's highly acidic for your system. And also hallucinogenic. So, and interestingly enough, these hallucinations actually manifest. So, walking around in a place like Mynd Mazuldra here on the west coast is dangerous, because you can run into some of these hallucinations from the opiander addicts, and those hallucinations, being born from nightmares, can do terrible things to you. Meanwhile, the addicts themselves slowly starve and bleed to death as the spice itself just kind of dissolves your everything inside. It's a horrible way to die. Isn't Illiboria a nice place to go, Erald?
Sounds like an absolute vacation versus where he just came from. Just needs to make sure that he cooks his own food.
Yes, that's a good idea. Mynd Mazuldra, there are two major cities, really, in Illiboria. Mynd Mazuldra and Skuger. Mynd Mazuldra is mostly in ruins by now. There's no law and order. There is no one who cares for the buildings, because, you know, the opiander spice is just overwhelmed everything there. I did mention to you guys when you were traveling north that the ship just kind of stopped by outside Mynd Mazuldra, but never went into it because it's too dangerous with all the hallucinations running around in the alleys. So that is probably not a place to go, even for Erald. But Skuger is, in fact, still functioning, I guess, in a sense. Ish. Okay. It is a center for the DiFolts Guild. and not only for them. So, arriving to Skuger, and I hope I have done the... there we go. This would be the city of Skuger. There we go. As you can tell, port city, laid out in a grid, nice little wall round, so on and so forth. It is for Illiborian, the Illiborian general area. It's fairly prosperous. It still functions. It still functions decently. There are, of course, as Erald disembarks from one of the ships, you will be able to hear the moaning from people who are, deeply into their opiander in the alleyways. But there is enough order here, some condottiers possibly keeping order to be able to at least avoid the worst of the squalor of Min Mazuldra. One interesting feature of this city is the central temple area, as you can see on the map. That little white disc that I put there is the floating cliff. The floating cliff is a round cliff that looks almost like a plate attached to the top of a pyramid, that's the blue thing here, by a chain. And it just hangs there in the air. There's water coming down like cascading, a cascading waterfall coming down from the sides. I don't think Erald has ever heard or seen of this.
No, it's based off all of my knowledge. Is this natural? For all intents and purposes, it doesn't look to be.
Erald is not a scholar, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Just have to do some sleuth work.
Yes. I have the joy, here we go, Erald, of introducing your new companion, your new fire tongue, which is, in fact, Guillaume Tremaine. He is from McGillrep, so a French accent is completely in order. Jessica, do you want to, Lapointe, that is, do you want to do Guillaume?
Sure.
Think a musketeer. He has two
It's a
weapons.
very, very bad accent.
That's okay.
Okay.
There are some other interesting people, of course, in Skuger who might hear of an Inquisitor being in town. I have here... where did I go with that? I think I'm going to give Belbossa to Sin, if you don't mind. This is Belbossa. He has a nice big mustache, and it's very jovial.
Okay.
And I've put the thing in there. And we have Mashu Omba. And then we have Barú Godissa. Any preferences there? These are priests in the local order?
I would prefer to not be the cultist this time.
Joke's on you. They're all cultists.
I mean, there's an actor.
I didn't bring the actor. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah. I didn't make a token for the actor.
We can trade if you want. You can be the fire tongue and I'll be the priest.
All right.
I mean,
Let's do that.
fine. Okay. My French accent is, I'm sure, even worse.
All right. Should I give... who wants Godissa then? Should I give that one to Lapointe?
Sure, I'll take
Alright.
that one.
It's an old lady again. I'm sorry, it's a theme for you tonight.
That's okay. I'm fine with that.
And John, you will get Umba. And Umba has an interesting mission.
It's irony, maybe, because I think I'm the youngest person on the call.
Yes, probably. And I will give... there we go. So, I've sent something to everyone now, I believe. So what is Erald's first order of business on arrival in Skuger?
Well, his first order of business, frankly, would probably be to check in at the local temple here. Being the fact that literally this, don't know a better way to describe it other than tethered rock draws his attention in many, many ways, shapes, and forms. So yeah, he would definitely head over and make introductions at the temple.
I can imagine the sun tongue trailing behind, the Inquisitor. What is this?
Yep.
I have absolutely no sweet clue, which is why I'm going to take a look. But don't forget why we're here. We're actually here to learn more about... Oh, I apologize. We're here to learn more about the default. As I'm here to vet them, for lack of better terms.
Of course.
I'm sending secret messages.
Okay. So yes. So yeah, he definitely will make his way over towards the temple and try to at least show his presence and make his presence known and see if it's warmly greeted or not.
Tell me, Mereld, is it true what they say that you took on 10 of those awful Shagulites by yourself?
I think the story might have been a little fluffed. It was more along the lines of one, and even that was it still got away.
I can scarce credit it.
Yes, if I ever have the opportunity to meet them again, they definitely will not get away this time. But to the task at hand, let's see here if we can possibly meet either with the leader here of the temple, or I have heard that there definitely is some of the default guilds here, as these are their stomping grounds from my knowledge of arrival.
Understood. And I shall stand behind you looking intimidating?
That's exactly what you're here for, yes.
Good at this.
I guess that Erald is announcing his presence loudly and clearly.
Yeah, definitely. He basically, for all intents and purposes, you walk into the temple and look at the local nearest priest or whoever looks to be, and politely say, basically, my name is Erald, and I'm here from. I'm here looking for basically whoever owns this establishment, and want to pay my respects, as it were.
Yeah, Guillaume will have, in fact, some work to do with keeping opiander addicts away from Erald because they are coming there from the alleys, sunken cheeks. A dicawry, a mackerel even, please. And bleeding in the sides of their mouths, a little bit from the nose.
Office you.
They do seem very distraught here, do they not? It's quite an unfortunate situation that they're living in.
Yes, he's terrible.
The actual Opiander crisis here, this is the Opiander created as far as Erald is concerned, or is this something quite literally natural that's been abused?
No idea.
No idea.
This goes
Okay.
back a long time in history.
Okay.
Ilaboria has been like this for your entire life.
Okay.
Officially, the DiFolts Guild was created to end Opiander and the Opiander addiction. They are an alchemist guild. Apparently, they have so far not been successful in this endeavor.
Seems to be. Yep.
Erald will announce himself to the guards at the gate as an inquisitor.
He definitely will.
Okay. I think Erald will be shown into the temple area quite quickly. There are of course guards there because there's so many beggars around that they need to keep them outside. Only the faithful can come in. There aren't a whole lot of faithful people here coming here to worship. Apparently, the locals worship someone called the Innocent One.
The Innocent One.
The Innocent One. Whatever that is. There are, in fact, the most functioning part of the city, perhaps, might be the market in the temple area. But that is not quite where you're interested in going. On one side there are a dining hall for the priests. On the other is their living quarters. And being an inquisitor, you will be let into the inner area where the pyramid is, in fact. There are two pools there, where there is water coming in through the walls. You will see some faithful pilgrims. They are washing themselves, and then they will be... one is, in fact, right now working on using body paint, so they smear themselves with blue color.
Erald will go over and inquire what are you doing there?
Oh, I have to be cleansed and in the color of the innocent before I meet the Innocent One.
Who is this Innocent One? I just recently got off the boat.
The Innocent One will have all our answers. A priest will, of course, come to Erald and show you to the higher rankings of this cult of the Innocent One. And this will be a meeting then with the important people of town when they learn about the presence of the Inquisition. That being the Spagyric Belboza, who is a representative of the DiFolts Guild. And because they are powerful here. If you could say that there's anyone who is like functioning as the city council or the mayor, it would be the DiFolts Guild. Like the civilian administration, you could say. The novice will introduce Erald the Mereld of the Inquisition, to His Holiness Umba, the High Priest of the Cult of the Innocent, and or Mashmashu, as it were, and Barú Godissa, priestess of the same order.
Very nice to make your acquaintance.
Inquisitor, you are here on some business.
Yes, I'm here to. I'm here to take in the scenery, if it were.
Then you have seen how our people suffer.
And I'm here to see if there's any way that the Inquisition can lend a hand.
Such help would be very appreciated. Our god is dying, Inquisitor.
The innocent one?
The innocent one is a traditional figurehead, one that all of the people in this region derive hope from. And I do not know if he will survive much longer. The Inquisition can be of assistance to us if you are of the proper authority to make proclamations on its behalf.
What seems to plague him?
Omba will look at Godissa for this to kind of like check to see if she has input on like how much we need to say. I imagine that the two of us like we've been discussing this for a while, so we're kind of we're kind of on like the same page as much as like how things have progressed.
Yeah. Our god inhabits a vessel, and the vessel is ill, and a new one has yet to be found.
When such an emissary is located, there are tests of purity that they must undergo. The Inquisition's public acceptance of these tests of purity would go a long way towards legitimizing any new vessel.
And curiosity aside, what are these tests?
The child must not have tasted salt, to start. The innocent one is deprived of the flavors of life that the rest of the world may understand resilience and strength in the face of suffering, that they may see an example that not only thrives with the loss, but accepts it and revels in it. These children are few and far between. They are quiet, they are still, they are thoughtful, they are innocent, and they understand that their suffering, their deprival, carries great purpose. I believe that I may have found such a child, but I would welcome the assistance in a public declaration. Official.
So, to make sure I understand this correctly, and I apologize, this is just recently got off the boat. It's been a very long trip. your vessel is ill for your god, the Innocent One. And to have a replacement vessel, they must pass these trials. And one of these trials, quite literally, is the lack of salt that was the waters. And to have not consumed salt.
Omba kind of takes a moment, like he's getting, he has to throw some theology around, and to a non-believer that's often like real tricky. So he kind of like, it is less a trial. It is not a test that must be overcome once. It is a state of being.
Think of it as requirements the child must meet.
A level of purity that the vessel has attained that the rest of us, I am unfit to serve as the Innocent One. The state of the Innocent One is something to which we aspire, something to reach for within our grasp, to take comfort in. He survives with nothing, with no joy, no pleasure. He maintains his innocence. He cannot be tempted. He does not lie. He harms no other. He feels no harm done to him. He holds no grudge. He is innocent. When an innocent one is ready to die, the child must be found.
And if it's not?
Then hope dies with him. We are already on short supply, Inquisitor. This spice has proved a great temptation for many in our land.
I think this calls for Umba to roll 3 dice for water. You will get bonus die, in fact, because you are in such a lovely setting and on home territory and have the assistance of your priestess. So 4 dice.
All right.
That's 3 successes. Erald, you have only 2 dice, don't you, in your water? But you do have Machinator, so if you want to spend...
Yep, I will spend for 1.
Woohoo! We have a die in the chalice, everyone!
Beyond looking suspicious, simultaneously intimidating and judgy, can I do anything to help?
Oh, intimidation is actually stone, which Gio has very little of, if I remember correctly. No, he has 2, I think. I just made Gio like the other day. He has 2, so if you want to roll your 2 dice there for Gio to look intimidating, you can do that.
Yeah, I'll roll.
Unless
for it.
Errol calls him off in that case.
Yeah, you know what? And that actually, as sad as it is, actually goes kind of what Errol was thinking. Is the story is convincing enough that Errol actually does feel for the pain and the suffering here, but is attempting to outweigh the views that that's not normal. The concept of this inhabitant of an innocent one moving from vessel to vessel, no, definitely goes against all of his thoughts.
I mean, there is all sorts of weird cults and sects in this world.
Oh, yes.
At least they're not the extremitists who believe that the path to salvation lies in having no extremities.
No, and and to that point, somebody needs something to believe in, is basically Erald's thoughts.
Yep.
So, if anything, Erald will actually vocally mention that, yes, I think we can come to your aid.
All right. Omba and have Omba and Belboza been in communique before, or are they
Yes.
are they rivals in this regard?
No, they've been in communicate before.
All right. Then Omba's going to check in. Give a glance to Belboza and sort of like, is now the time?
Yes. Certainly, we must be prepared, of course. Good sir, I mean, it's always best to prepare for the worst, hope for the best.
Does that mean that Erald will take part in the ceremony of the raising of the child? That might happen, days and weeks later, but,
Yes, Erald will probably take part in this, and will keep his fire tongue very close at hand if things get too outside of his thoughts of what this should actually be.
I mean, it's an interesting ritual altogether, and in fact, you will be able to see the ritual of the faithful as they ascend to the cliff itself. It is on the cliff that the child will be. And it's an elaborate ritual. The priest who... They all have to... So every 4 days, a priest has to go up to the cliff to speak to the child and bring the word of the child to the people. And they will do fasting and sauna and prayers. And then they go up along this stepped pyramid and they say the words, "I, unclean wretch, step before the face of the innocent with all the blackness of the soul and all the stink of the body." And this master of ceremonies, who's very often Umba, but not every time, sometimes it's Godista, will then, dressed in a blue woolen cloak, sprinkle perfume on the priest in question with a twig of jasmine, and sing, "May your body be the body of the lands. May your soul be the land's soul." And so on. And you go slowly up the pyramid. Eventually, the priest will, in fact, be on top of the pyramid and be covered be naked and covered in honey from top to toe. And the supplicant priest will say, respond to the stanzas of the priest who is doing the ceremony by shouting out very loudly, "My name shall be Candide." And then someone rings a gong. And lo and behold, the priest is suddenly taken up to the cliff itself, tumbling through the air, the honey disappearing mysteriously on the way, and then up on the cliff. This will also happen to the baby in question. What, Josh?
Oh, that was on mute on purpose.
Oh, okay.
So, Erald at this point, for all intents and purposes, and not usually the magic person. So
Nope.
He's basically seeing this literal, act of God, for lack of better terms, in front of him. He simply just doesn't know what to say at this, and is trying to make judgment as to back to his original beliefs, if this is creationist or not. And he just can't he can't make heads or tails of it, and if anything, it gives the locals hope in dire needs. So
the child, you will get a chance to see the child. The child is, in fact, a toddler at most. And, in fact, completely blue-skinned. Like, blue. Literally blue.
Same color blue as what they were cleaning themselves with back at the temple whenever I asked
Just
gentlemen.
about, yeah. And with Erald's blessing, the child will be elevated to the cliff to be the new innocent one. Isn't it lovely, these miracles that we get to see firsthand?
I will point out that Godessa seems very grandmotherly towards both children.
Of course.
And she's very, tending to them.
Yes, unfortunately, the previous innocent one did not have a whole lot of time left. Very tragic, very tragic. And so we leave Skuger for this time with a very befuddled Erald.
Oma will make sure that he gets the travel pamphlet, because it's like, hey, you. It's a lot.
Went to Skuger and all I got was this lousy pamphlet.
Yeah, I know that you have a lot of questions right now. I get it. Take some literature.
It's a long trip, so I'll need it. Thank you. It's I don't know what I've seen there, but it's something.
What's that?
Sure, something.
If you leave, remember as you go from here, keep things very bland. Go on porridge for the next couple of days. You don't want to taste anything.
We'll help you regulate yourself.
It's good to get used to.
As we head back to the ship, the sun's starting. It's probably like, have we been drugged?
I don't think so. Have we eaten anything from here?
This idea of going on porridge,
Spice is life.
Isn't
What-
Erald a priest of Shamash?
No, he just plays one on TV.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, no, he definitely. He doesn't know what he understood there or seen there, but it's definitely.
You saw nothing.
They're doing good. They did not seem to be doing over harm, and if anything, they're trying to make the best of their situation. There, I guess.
It's also thinking the people covered in honey. That definitely needs to be a feature at Folda's next party. That seemed fun.
Word might get around.
It'll be the latest rage in Fontrasilor soon enough, right?
I mean, there should be another festival coming up soon, right?
Errol brings the latest party favors.
Absolutely.
Blue babies and everything.
Yep. All right. Shall we have a look in on how things are going in Tricilve this quarter? I think our Tricilvan friends have been patient and deserves some attention. So I will go to the capital, which is not, in fact, slowly decaying, but rather prosperous and very busy indeed. So, I understand that Lady Taralese wants to sow discontent among the new sphere, which of course is a worthy cause, at least if you're loyal to the throne. What does the general want to do? You weren't
She's
here when
planning a war party.
You're planning a war party? What is... let's see now.
Actually, she would be getting in contact with as many mages as possible to try and figure out how to put undead back to sleep.
Ah. What would be Goba da Grummi's orders to General da Kaelve now? Organize the recapture of Marjura? Is that what we're going towards?
That's probably what she has her working on, just to keep her shut up. Well, she does other things in the background, I'm sure.
Yeah, okay. That sounds good to me.
I imagine Goba's probably not sure whether she likes prawns right now or not. Because on the one hand, prawns showed everybody up. On the other hand, she fucked up the plants. So.
She did, yeah. So you want to speak to all the possible wizards in the area, then?
Yes, and she will do some discussions to the Shagulite that got thrown in the cage. Not that I think they'll be very helpful, but she has to torture him a little anyway.
Just for the sake of it, right? Like, you have to keep up appearances, right?
Exactly.
I fully agree with this.
Or
worthy
inversion
goal.
is ultras.
For Lady Taralese and Promos being mostly drifting around town and hearing people and their feelings about things, let's set a scene of some kind. I'm just going to give Lady Taralese the lowdown on who are the members of the Order of the New Sphere. And you might be able to determine which one to approach. Of course, Duke Yalsop da Kamesti is still the head of the order. I'm not sure he has, he's right now he is actually in Malusa. That's his duchy. And he is basically licking his wounds after the absolute complete calamity of Marjura. And hoping intensely that people will forget about his involvement in said calamity. Goba da Grummi is also in this Order of the New Sphere, so that's an interesting target. The Duchess Klenora da Cartarinda, who is the heir of Karamak on the southern tip of Paratorna, is also a member. Praanz da Kaelve, the general, is also a member. And then we have some people who are not necessarily nobles. Of course, the Orator Stensaka, Malthus Korn, who is incredibly rich trader of grains from Grum. Egon Shakello, of course, the actual head of the Shakello merchant house. Who is now in a terrible state because of what happened on Marjura. We have the ship builder Areto Beam-Eye Dasiola and Admirata Vemsica, of course, and Dodrima de Solebasti, who trades in stone and marble from Sublak on Palamux. The People's Tribune Calcabrina. Homber of the Shadows is an interesting fella. He is a travel guide for the other side.
A travel guide for the other side. Are you talking about spirits, or are you talking about elsewhere in Trakoria?
No, spirits. He's called Homber of the Shadows.
Okay, so he's a medium.
And then, of course, we have NPZ, who is the game master of the Freedom Games. Also known as NPC.
An NPC named NPC.
Yes.
Got it.
With a Z.
Okay. Well, there are rumors going around that the Bodak is willing to throw some money around to help with ships. And really, what's a better way to be able to distance yourself from what a disaster it was initially with Arhem, to help or make appearances that you are helping with retaking of Arhem. So she would approach the shipwright.
Yes. Areto, Master Areto, of course, da Siola. He has an office here in Tricilve, though his headquarters is obviously in Siola, which is north of here. Let me show on the map. So I do have a... Where did that go? I don't have the Paratorna map here. How sloppy of me. I will immediately fix that. We need a Paratorna map after all, don't we?
Almost wouldn't mind chatting with a shipwright for his own reasons.
For his own yeah, indeed. So maybe they are doing a mutual trip here. That could be the case. Or maybe you're traveling all the way to Siola. That's completely possible. Did you want to do that?
I mean,
Sure.
if there's a good party there.
Not much party. I mean, well, for sailors there are, and you're a sailor, so okay, I'll stand corrected. There we go. And I can activate that one. So, Paratorna. We just were up here in Skuger with Erald, and now we will be down here. Tricilve is right there, and Siola is up here. So it's a short trip. I'm sure Promos can take Lady Taralese, right?
Of course.
Lady Taralese, you are in fact on the shores of Tricilve, ready to embark when someone will deliver you a letter. Or rather, a note, I should say. The note says... Please, I need a word with you promptly, and is signed Lady Silesia.
Oh, well, she can't, I can't leave a dear friend hanging like that. Promos, there's something that I need to go and take care of very quickly. Would you mind being a dear and taking me around to go and see her?
You're disembark now, then.
Not quite all the way to Seoul. Just a little ways around.
like a quicken.
Sure, something like that.
Yeah. He'll ferry her around anywhere that he needs to, just kind of like drop her off, and then his boat's not really big, so it can kind of pick up and leave, whenever you're ready. He's not in any rush.
Yeah, the person carrying the note will take Lady Taralese to meet the person in question, who turns out to be Lady Silesia. She is not as extravagantly dressed as you were used to from Marjura. Clearly has fallen on harder times. Only the cheapest LJ silk now. Not even
my
the latest, not even the latest wig fashion.
Oh, my dear, you look exactly like that poor horse that got carried off.
Castique is good to those who help themselves, and we mean to do just that, don't we? Yes. In fact, that is why I have approached you today. I have some news that might be of interest.
Oh, do tell, darling.
I have in my possession, and she kind of touches her cleavage a little bit, a letter from a mutual acquaintance, I believe.
Oh, and who might this mutual acquaintance you say we have is?
Well, I don't know what he looks like because he used to wear a mask all the time.
Oh, did he now? Does he have a particularly petrichor or green color to him?
Rumor has it.
Used to wear red as well?
Yes. Very singular in his fashion choices. I never understood it. Not even algae silk, you know.
Oh, darling, no one really understands anyone like that, especially ones that are scholars like that. They think they spend far too much time thinking.
Quite so.
But you say you have a letter from him. What does he have to say?
Well, it's in the strictest of confidence, of course.
Of course, darling.
Well, it seems to me that, the Digitallunga might have had a bigger hand in what happened away from here than it first appears.
Oh, and what does he think that is going on? Frankly, I'm a little surprised that he can still write. Well, I suppose I shouldn't be so surprised. They are rather animated individuals.
They tried to kill him.
I'm laughing. She is not. She is just perfectly straight-faced. But internally, she is laughing. Oh, really? Did he know? Or did they know? Are you suggesting that it was Praanz?
Oh, you said that, my dear, not me. But,
Or was it Nin?
whomever it was, I'm sure the Order of the New Sphere was involved in some way. We know at least... Well, I'm not sure who Nin served exactly. I don't even... Where is Nin nowadays? I haven't heard anything. Anyway, but we all know that Goba da Grummi is a member of that venerable, new, fangled knightly order.
Yes, along with that upstart Duke Clemesti.
Mm-hmm.
Duke Clemesti.
Yes, that upstart.
Who I heard he ran away with his tail tucked between his legs. Oh, you should have seen it in the Bodak. It was glorious.
I am sure he will handle the situation according to his abilities.
Oh, quite. I'm sure he's got his own purse strings to tighten now.
Yes, he does. She will in fact laugh in glee at this. You're having a good Mean Girls moment. Well, I thought this must be helpful for you. And, well, I'm sure any time that you, might need help with these kinds of, dealings, I know a person or two still at court. Now, do run along now, dear. I think, when one is as young as you are and haven't seen as many winters as I have, one has to have time to amuse oneself too, right? Yes.
Oh, of course, and of course, you being such an old bird and old hand at everything, I'll have to remember to invite you to some of the parties, get you mingling again. You are single and ready to mingle again.
Of course, of course. I hear the Duke Allesella is still a bachelor, maybe?
There we go. We'll arrange a shopping trip at some point. Get you cleaned up.
Ouch. So it is that you will then travel towards Ciola and have a word with the good Areto. I wanted to give General da Kaelve a moment as well. Sorry, John. That's just time is running away from me here. Because I'm going to say that General da Kaelve has, in fact, heard an interesting development. You were saying that you were torturing the poor Harkaton a little bit more.
Before my parade.
Yes. I mean, the parade is amazing.
As one does, really.
Yes.
Little torture in the morning, a parade in the afternoon. It's been a lovely day.
Quite so. Now, this is going to be in the equivalent of July or August or September, when you finally learn that there is, in fact, a Shagulite nest left in the city. And you can do something about it.
Okay.
Because you get the address. Might promos be sent there as well? By Allesella, if he learns about this?
I might even take him with me if he's been proven loyal, useful up to this point.
I feel like I need a hand,
Of course.
A boarding axe, perhaps?
And I got a harpoon and a fast exit. That gets me out of most things.
Excellent. That's Praanz's idea of a good time.
Yeah, you exactly, it does. I mean, one fine day, I'm sure he's going to develop marksmanship is the ability.
So yes, the general will set up an appropriate raid and have them wrangled.
I have roles for the rest of you for this little raid if you want them, of course, because that's the kind of person I am. How about we bring in let's see now, a couple of friends of Praanz da Kaelve's. BFFs, in fact.
Praanz has friends?
Yes, we have one Mathas de Kella and Tokandra da Privavi, and that should be a name there for everyone. There we go. Tokandra. These are basically the people you fight with. I mean, if you think back to like the Thor movies with his chosen band of miscreants that he goes out and does bad things with.
Her usual training party, yeah.
Yes, exactly. And let's see who.
So yeah, she probably would definitely have added promos into that by now.
Yes. I can also add one archer that I apparently didn't put in here because I'm an idiot. Sorry about that.
So mad to not be invited to the Shagulite boot party.
Right. And that person is called. I have it right here in the book. I have all the books. Where'd he go? I'm sorry. There we go. Palidas. Who wants an archer? Who wants one of these people?
I know more about fencing than archery, so I will take a fencer.
Okay, Tokandra is a fencer.
I'll take an archer.
Okay, there will be Polidas, and I guess that leaves Mathus de Calafracen. Interestingly enough here, General Praanz, Mathus de Kella is in fact the younger brother of Ingolma de Kella, the godmother, the mafia boss of Tricilve.
I feel like that makes sense.
Right? And Mathus is one of your best friends forever. So, you know, you've never actually met Ingolma, his older sister, personally, and Mathus is not really involved in his sister's business, but he's part of the family, you know? So, that's okay.
Have he and Praanz been running long enough that it's like she's family by association?
No, because Praanz has never met Ingolma, and that's the key.
Okay. That's how she keeps that separate.
Yes, that is how she keeps that separate. And
I'm just gonna
course,
pretend your sister's not a mafia boss so we can be friends.
pretty much.
Hey, forget about it.
And also, never let anything happen to you ever.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
don't ask anything about a horse.
And let's see now if I have configured this properly. I don't even know. Yes, I have. There we go. I need to get...
Black.
Nobody can see anything except Jess, right? I'm a good boy. Or not. Sin is Mathis, right?
Correct.
And...
Mathis kind of looks like a Hemsworth.
Is... John? No, wait, who was John again?
Promos.
Promos, yes, of course. And so Tokandra is in fact Jessica Birch, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we have one, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna have Polidas. Polidas. You'll have to be the Spectre actor here because I didn't have a token for him because I made a fool out of myself. Sorry about that. But I'll give you vision at least. There we go. And how many other troops might you bring with you here?
Enough to overwhelm them.
Okay, so there's a bunch. As you bash down the door and enter the premises.
She was told they're Shagulites. Goba told her Shagulites are enemy number 1 right now.
This is true.
Not gonna risk it. So she will, she'll take a full battalion of troops.
Ooh, that's a lot.
She'll just smoke it.
And bashing down the door.
Yeah.
It appears that this house has been used, the cover here has been some kind of herbal store? Potion making affair?
So she will gesture to some red shirts to start confiscating things.
Yep. Now they will rummage through everything, of course, as much as they can.
Don't break it. I want it brought in,
That might
properly
be
confiscated.
Mm.
Just in case she might need potion ingredients for later to, wipe out undead.
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
So I will lead my band of merry men down the stairs first, I guess.
Yes. Well, that is actually a stairwell that goes upwards.
Okay, up the stairs.
Yeah. And if you do that, you will actually, if you click on the stair there, can you see the stair from your
Yes.
angle there? Yeah.
Hey, it
Click
did
on
a
that.
thing.
Yeah, it's a teleporting stair,
Woo! Fancy.
right? Everything seems absolutely in order in these parts. It's a comfortable area, a library. Could it be that someone tipped them off? There doesn't seem to be people here around.
Probably. She will search everything anyway. Again, she tells some red shirts to do a thorough search. I want books, papers, everything confiscated, done properly. Don't miss anything, don't rip anything, don't lose anything.
You will find a secret passage.
Woohoo!
Through the fireplace in the office where no doubt the leader of this place has been. You know what's interesting here, Praanz? There is no bed in the leader's chambers.
Okay. I go through the fireplace. Because unless they turn into bats, which again is not beyond her comprehension, because she's seen weirder shit now.
She has indeed.
Alright, boys, let's go through the fireplace, I guess.
I've put the it's the fireplace in the leader's room. So this library. So where you were a moment ago, basically.
Here?
Yeah.
There it is.
Where did
There's a dungeon.
Kendra go?
I'm still having really bad lag issues. Would you
Oh,
mind
that's why.
helping me?
I can position you in the right spot. So, right, we'll get everyone else to the same spot, right?
Yeah.
How many are you bringing with to this place?
I will bring my main square and probably bring down a few red shirts to make sure things are thoroughly searched. So whoever's not working on a search will come with me, other than the main
Right. I'm just moving Mathis here.
peoples.
Yeah, and I think the token for promos doesn't have vision turned on, so all I still see is
you are
black.
quite right. I am so sorry. My bad. I will just jump you right to the right spot immediately. There we go.
I think I might be in the same boat.
You don't have the vision thing?
Mm-mm.
He's a specter.
He's a specter.
Yeah, you are the archer, right?
Yes.
Yes.
The archer.
You are correct. There we go. Archer is now with the and I'll move to Kandra like that as well because your issues with the thing.
Unless told otherwise, I'm picturing Tukandra like dramatically flinging back cards at ha ha.
Yes, that would be her to a T.
Hey, yo, Franz, you know this seems awfully clean, right?
Yeah, there's a dungeon down here.
We want some
Even so.
soldiers. Why did I get those tokens? It's supposed to be a Trakorian soldier there.
That
Hey.
works too.
I mean, yeah.
Gumba's special, or Praanz's special hit squad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely seems too clean. Somebody gave somebody a heads up.
Well, even then, you might want to be careful. Make sure that there's no extra surprises that someone left lying around. You know?
That's why I'm letting the red shirts do the searching.
Ah, so the red shirts are coming here. Are they going to bash the next door down as well?
Sure.
All right, bash the door down. Oh, that was scary. They scream. I'm going to roll some terror checks, in fact.
We're gonna need another Timmy.
In fact, the
Possibly new pets.
skeleton failed miserably, but maybe so did the soldiers. I don't know.
These
Nope.
guys have all heard of Praanz's exploits. They're not scared of necromancers.
Clearly not. There are, in fact, skeletons and zombies down here. There will be a melee. Praanz, why don't you roll your command ability
Sure.
as we get to the horrors of... where is that one? There we go. You can, because you are a commander, you can in fact, we go into sort of field battle mode. You are commanding a unit of soldiers against these horrors from the pit. And you can roll their... the base dice for this for you will be their fire or stone, which is either way 2. So that's 2 dice, and then add another die for them being specialists with swords, so that's 3 in base. You're not gonna get any equipment bonus here because your opponents have the same equipment, but you can throw in 1 fate die for their swordplay and 1 fate die for your command for a total of 5 dice.
Sweet.
Are we doing that?
Yep.
Alright, so that is in fact 2 fate dice spent, and that is 3 successes. The opposition, of course, being undead, has 3 stone, no skills whatsoever, but still 3d6. I rolled 1 success. Describe how Praanz leads these soldiers to destroy various
Praanz's first
undead.
command is don't follow their hand. Do not become one of them.
What,
And then go
what
for
does
the
it look
head.
like when the soldiers rush in?
So they go in, they see the zombies, and they start immediately going for decapitations.
You will hear the sound of steel versus steel. You being the commander, Praanz, you actually don't have to get involved in the melee if you don't want to. But do you want to have an opportunity to slash something?
No. So Praanz will be waiting to get her hands on the necromancers.
All right. How about the others? Promos, you see this absolute chaos unfolding. With let's have a look at what happens to his, in fact, sanity in this case. Seeing The Walking Dead. Is it the first time he will see The Walking Dead, I wonder?
I'm not sure if it's his first time, but I don't think it's the kind of thing he ever wants to get used to. So
That's a good point.
I mean, I'm sure he's at least heard Praanz tell her war story.
I will roll
yeah, like
the horror check for him. This is an attack against his wind, so he will roll wind as well. And need a success.
give me just a moment here.
I imagine Takandra is sort of like in a ready stance, kind of like next to Praanz, sort of trying to look everywhere at once, just because
Yep.
this is the
let's
obvious
see.
threats. So where are the subtle threats?
Which is exactly what Praanz is waiting for.
Yep. Yep.
You know, in response to her colleague's observation, what I want to know is who could have tipped them off.
Your win is 3 there, probably.
3.
Yeah, I need to fix these sheets. I haven't. I keep hoping that an update will fix it, or that someone on Foundry will tell me. You are fine, Promos, with those 2 successes. Nothing
All right.
faces Promos. No fear at all.
Then he's going to dive in and use his harpoon to kind of like hold people back until the he's assuming that they're the they bite you and you die zombies, so he's helping like keep him at a distance.
Franz did say don't fall to them, so that makes sense.
So
Yeah, and promos as such, since you are involved in this fight as part of the unit, I want you to roll a fighting check here. You can use fire or stone, I'm guessing stone.
yes, sir.
With the harpoon, let's see now. I'm going to classify that kind of as a spear, to be honest. That gives you an equipment bonus for having a longer weapon than they have, so 3 dice for you.
Okay, 3 total.
Does he get a bonus for my commands?
No.
Okay.
All right. Over here.
Since you don't have any melee abilities as such, there's no fate dice.
Yeah, just guy with a boat doing his best.
Yep.
He's got a lot of heart. That's what he has.
He does have a lot of heart.
Yeah.
And he rolls well. 2 successes on that one. We will have the skeleton confronting him roll 3d6. They don't get an equipment bonus because your weapon is longer. And I roll no success at all. Describe how Promos dispatches the skeleton with a harpoon.
I think it's more like he sets up for the assist, right? Like Promos spears this thing through and then just holds it in place for one of the red shirts with a sword to finish it off.
And that's exactly what happens. I mean, a harpoon has those barbs, right?
Right. He's a team player.
Yeah, and catching the skeleton in the ribs, so it's really stuck on those barbs, is just exactly what she asked for. What's going on with Tokandra here? I'm guessing she's gonna leap into the fray just as everyone else here, because sword is fun.
She wants to, but on the other hand, she is sort of taking her colleagues' advice and looking for the subtle threat.
So she might not be in the front lines then.
No,
which is probably a good thing, because her wind is a 1.
Definitely not hiding with Franz because she's afraid or anything. Franz
No,
needs
definitely not.
threat. Yeah.
Let's have a look at how that's going to work, because, of course, the skeletons and zombies roll absolutely 0 successes against Tokandra. You're fine. Snake eyes on the terrorist check. How about Mathis?
Like a Tuesday.
Like a Tuesday.
Mathis is a good boy who learned how to be a proper enforcer. So he's going to go in and support his boys.
Yeah. Yeah, I can move the tokens there for you. Malthus goes in there with probably a sword, and we'll have to roll a wind check meeting the undead. Unfortunately, his wind is in fact 2, so what does it look like when Malthus either takes a consequence to stay in the fight, or runs and screams?
He is going to go running in, ready to fire, not fully understanding what he's about to see. And then he's gonna go running back out like, okay, I did not sign up for any of this. I thought you were exaggerating like my Uncle Joseph does. I did not expect any of this.
So told you, Maddie. The undead walk.
Yeah, he breaks. We have ourselves our archer Palidas, who has a crossbow, a trusty crossbow.
Oh, no shame in it, boy. Get the doors.
Yeah. Malthus just legs it away. Ah!
Yep. Politis will basically, for all intents and purposes, take the crossbow and puck shot the most adjacent to the door, because following Praanz's leads of Don't allow them to bite you and don't fall to them. Well, we probably shouldn't also let them get out of this room.
Roll the single wind when you see these horrors from the grave. Success is fine, and that is not quite. You take 1 point of wind fear. You take 1 point of fear, which is not enough to break you. You had to take 2. So you can shoot if you want. You have 3 dice for this.
Okay. And 1 straight in front.
Yep.
So.
And I will roll a single die for their fire because they get to duck, and that fails miserably. So that's 2 points of damage. It's not going to be enough to bring the thing down necessarily, but it sits somewhere. Where in the body exactly?
Yeah, definitely. Paladus would basically take it up and back to zombie mentality. Attempts to basically take the closest thing to a headshot as possible. So, because of the fact it wasn't a clean kill, probably like in the neck or like the shoulder bone or something.
Shoulder
but
bone.
yeah,
There it sits, deeply embedded. And as all this goes on, you see the main Shagulite undoubtedly step out because this one has green skin. Looks very strange, very long arms, almost all the way down to the floor, and a long spine as well, so that it has to crouch almost under the ceiling. Ugh. And even as this is going on, and you're chopping down because of your leadership role there, Praanz. So the field battle rules here. This is of interest to you, Praanz, because you are a commander. And anyone else who might want to become a commander one day, I'm just saying. If you have high water, commanding is lovely to be. You need it at the end of a fight to rally your troops, basically. You lose a number of units equal to the enemy's success crits plus the weapon damage that they use, which in this case is you rolled what was it? You rolled where are we? Praanz. You rolled a 6 plus the weapon damage is 1, so they would lose 2 whole units, not just 2 zombies, 2 units of zombies, which is, all more than they have. They have a single unit.
So at
go ahead.
this point, Praanz would step up, especially seeing the lead Shagulite come out. I'm assuming I can see him.
Yep.
Praanz would step up and basically say, "Surrender yourselves to the might of the Digatalanga, and it will go easier on you."
I will try to rally the troops here. This is the Shagulite trying to do, undo the damage with... Okay, that didn't work. So, in other words, the zombies will crumble one by one. But as they and some servants and, other people who apparently serve, maybe not all of them are dead, some are probably incapacitated, as you storm into this chamber of horrors. There are all sorts of paraphernalia on these walls, including body parts and, a hand lying. She needed a hand, it's lying there on the desk. And this thing will absolutely not want to voluntarily surrender. You'll never take me alive. And now I'm going to use my fate dice from my chalice here to do a magical necromantic attack against this troop. How about... It's the only chance this Shagulite will get, isn't it? Because next there's going to be butchery. Basically, this Shagulite is pretty much alone by now. Necromantic attack, a necrokinetic attack against living creatures. A stinger of pure necromantic energy. Roll wind, damage is blunt, but no armor counts. So I will roll 5 dice, and we'll need a lot of successes to do much damage at all. I got 1 success. That's not enough. I mean, I do 2 points of damage to Praanz, I guess. So yeah, you feel the impact of this necrokinetic attack, Praanz. It's like this black dagger that just flies across the room and hits you right through your armor in your gut, and
didn't I just pick something up for that?
What was that?
Oh no, never mind. It was something else.
Yeah, it goes right through armor. This one.
Okay.
But,
I feel it, but can I shake it off?
You will have any opponent will be able to use
it against me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't have that point of Bakistan yet.
No,
or
this is unless you want to have a consequence of temporary or permanent nature. In which case you don't take the damage. And yeah, exactly. You don't have the bounce gun expertise yet to ignore misery. That's correct.
No, I only have the one that causes them to be intimidated.
Oh yes. Oh, did you want to use that, by the way?
Sure, if it'll keep him from attacking me and just make him surrender his ass.
Roll water plus fate die versus the enemy's stone.
What is my water?
Your water is in fact a 2. So you can put a fate die into that if you want.
Sure.
You're down to 9.
That was a terrible roll.
Do you want to invoke an experience, perhaps?
I will use the experience that there are things you can't fight your way out of, so I'm trying to intimidate him to surrender.
Very good. Okay, re-roll all those dice, I guess.
Yes. That was slightly that was much better.
That was a good deal better.
Much better.
Praanz just stares at this person, this Shagulite.
Surrender.
That look of eagles, and I now have to roll stone, not wind, but stone. And that is not well. It's not a bad. Being Shagulite means, having access to uncanny abilities. But it didn't help in this case.
Praanz is scarier than a Shagulite. I like it.
Yep. The Shagulite will, in fact, freeze in their tracks. You think of this person looking kind of like a very green-skinned Simish in Vampire the Masquerade terms.
At which point, Praanz will go over and basically apprehend them.
Clearly. And so the arrest is completed.
And she will have the red shirts very carefully search the rest of the grounds to basically find evidence and what else they can find.
Yeah, and it's bad. This area. You find all sorts of paraphernalia signifying necromancy, just aside from the skeletons and the zombies. You have, of course, the pentagram in the floor. You have blood splatter in many places in this house. There is, in fact, one skeleton that was never animated. And you're pretty sure that one of the rooms have been used for vivisection or such like. Whatever the Shagulites have been doing down here, it was not nice to the people they kept here. Tricilve, being what Tricilve is, being able to grab people off the street and use them as experiments in your nasty magics is really not so hard if you know how to do it. But
So,
you have put an end to it.
Shagulites.
Yes.
So don't forget, this lady's still breathing. Not one here. You want like alive or like?
No, I want them alive. I want to torture and gather information.
Alive's all I heard of that.
Franz isn't shy about how her methods of extraction.
Clearly.
Officially scarier than the Shagulites.
Quite scary.
My hands are clean. I only killed a bunch of dead things.
Right?
You did.
You know, you got a little ichor there on the front of your tunic. Or is that fish guts?
the front side.
Yeah.
No, that's ichor. That's bits of man. Ugh.
Good to know. I don't want to know how it tasted.
I'm not good. I'm gonna go jump in the river and then get right drunk. See you all outside.
I'll call you if I need you.
Right,
She passes some gold. Rands are on me.
I'll take it and like toss some of them to Mathis and be like, "You need a good drink too. Find a place. I'll meet you when I dry off."
Yeah. I know a guy who knows a guy. I know the owner. I can sit you up.
You would, wouldn't you?
It's all in the family.
Very much so.
Promos is going to go scrub off because that was horrifying.
It was pretty horrifying, wasn't it?
Franz is going to go back to her office. And by office, I mean torture chamber.
Ah, yes. The torture chamber of Famkvaldi. That is, in fact, on the Red Cliff.
I wonder if this will get her another parade.
There we go. That's a better map for that. Famkvaldi is right across the bay. It's a bit of a hassle to get to the headquarters of the Digitalonga. You do have to take a ship from Tricilve across, and I believe I mentioned this before, but I can mention it again. On the top of the cliff, looking over Chrysander Bay, is the amazing statue of Castique. Shining gold, or at least it looks like it. It might just be brass, but don't tell anyone. With her 3 arms and on each side.
8 legs.
Six arms and 6 legs, yes, on each side. Because, of course, as the story goes, I don't think I've told John about this story. When this statue was to be inaugurated, to sanctify to Castique, the goddess of prophets, it turned out that the contractors had been skimping a bit on the bronze. So the first statue that was put there on the cliff, when Castique only had regular 2 arms and 2 legs, it just folded over and fell into the sea. But then the Pillar Father, the Pope of the church, had a vision, very, very opportune vision, that Castique actually had 6 arms and 6 legs, which allowed the constructors of the new statue, with the bronze they had left, to build a considerably more stable statue, because with 6 legs it could actually prop up the entire weight of the bronze that was left. And now, of course, we all know that Castique has 6 arms and 6 legs. Very, very fortuitous vision that Pillar Father had. So on top of the cliff then is in fact the main church, the main holy site, the seat of the Pillar Father himself.
How long do you think it takes Castique to find like a pair of pants? Like how long do you have to work to sew like
6 shirt sleeves. What's her morning routine like? How long does that take?
You know, many other people who are not Paratronians probably ask themselves that as well.
That's why skirts and vests are so popular.
There you go. The cliff itself is red because of the nature of the stone. And underneath the seat of the Pillar Father, kind of interesting placement underneath the seat, is the headquarters of the Ditalonga inside the actual mountain side. So you go below the holy church of Castique and find the Secret Service, and the lower down you go in the cliff, the deeper you get to all the dungeons and torture chambers and so on. There is, of course, a way to sail into the cliff. There's a harbor let out for the agents of the Ditalonga. So as General da Kaelve comes there with the prisoner in tow, it should be easy enough to get there. I'm just gonna do a check here and see if I can have my NPC cheat. I'm gonna roll a stone check here and try to get out of the boat.
Can I roll a check to whack you in the head while you do it?
You can.
What am I rolling for that?
Stone is you're still damaged unless you've taken a while to, you know. That means I get 2 extra dice on you.
Is there some way that I can assist either through if I'm steering the boat or through excellent knots?
I got another 6 on that one because Praanz is in fact hurt. Yes, you can. I would argue. Why don't you use your skipper abilities here?
Can I also use my swordplay to like melee whack him in the head?
You can. You can indeed. Okay, so Promos, roll 3 dice for your wind. If you want to add 2 fate dice out of the 3 you have, you can.
I'll add 1.
1? Yep, sounds good.
So it'll be 46.
That is 3 successes. You give an extra die to Praanz, and Praanz will roll
4 with the extra, I think. My stone is 2. My swordplay gives me 1 from John.
Yep. Absolutely that. So that is 3 successes versus my 3 successes. Praanz is bowled over by this Shagulite, who promptly jumps into the water.
Nope. I will go after him.
Oh, you're gonna dive.
Yep.
And if possible, Promos would like to try and harpoon him.
Go right ahead. That is unfortunately a fire check for you there, but
Yeah,
I'll
which
give
is
you a
not
bonus
good.
die. I'll give you a bonus die for having the harpoon, so it's 2 dice.
Very much feeling that whole Malik scene all over again.
Yep, of course it is.
What am I
Right?
checking for swimming?
That'll be fire.
Praanz has some experience with this.
Yep.
I'll get
I
you next
wasn't
time,
there.
Gadget.
Hey, Praanz wasn't the one who initiated it,
It wasn't.
despite what everyone thinks.
He was the first one who sent him to an isolated area and provided the other guy who drew his sword on Malik. What was he supposed to think?
I mean, to be fair, we all thought that maybe Erald's not too bad of a guy, you know, for a
Inquisitor?
inquisitor.
I'm gonna roll a single d6 because that's all this. You have hit the weakness of the Shagulite here, Promos. Only has
Harpoons.
a single die to defend, but I succeed. But it doesn't matter because you have 2 successes. So you actually succeed in harpoon the guy, And harpoons famously have, a rope attached to them. So
The prawns will just swim back to the boat then and let you
you're
drag him
treating
in.
him like a whale, and it goes into him and just haul him back.
Were you aiming for the shoulder?
Like kind of center mass. The water kind of gets distorted.
Yeah.
Call
Before
him
the Shagulite
Ishmael.
managed to sink to the bottom of the sea, you spear him with that.
It's kind of like reeling, like hand over hand, and being like, honestly, like it's real hard to hit things that are like much smaller than that.
Yeah. The harpoon hasn't done much damage to the Shagulite. The thick skin of that green skin, almost bark-like or leathery. But the barb sits where it's supposed to, so, yep.
At which point he gets back into the boat. Prawns kind of backhands him.
Oof.
And now you've pissed me off. And they continue on their way.
Yep. And so they do. Oh, dear.
She's not letting her prisoner escape. Thank you.
She is not. And so I'm going to say that because I'm looking at my time here out in the Maritimes, we are coming to the end of this intermission session. We didn't get to Areto, but that's fine. I'm going to pick that up for the next time and make lots of notes and make it interesting for you, Sin, because clearly that will have to happen. And next time we will deal with basically the fall and early winter of this year 8 after the Chronolob was inaugurated. Have you all heard about the inauguration of the Chronolob? Of course you have.
Yes, of course.
Of course. It was a most momentous occasion in the history of Trakoria, and led to all sorts of interesting shenanigans. In fact, I put it in the travel journal for you guys. But it might have been a while since you read it. Or did I? I might not have. Oh no! I think I did.
So it is all agreed that once this guy is like in, like really really locked down, we're all getting like absolutely hammered at a mafia bar, right?
Yes.
All right.
That seems absolutely appropriate.
Those places have the best food.
Well, when she's got the fucker in a cage and is guarded, we can go get plastered and she can start torture tomorrow.
I imagine Crocinda is there like loudly comforting her opposite number about the horrors that they have witnessed.
Yep. I did put the Chronolob Invigoration here in the Bryce Travel Journal, as I thought I had. The Chronolob of Tricilve was an interesting construction. It's really a gigantic timekeeping device constructed by do I have the name of the creator here? No, I don't. The interesting thing is that the maker of the Chronolob died during the inauguration. Apparently, there is an effigy of the Earth Mother on the top of this thing, and from her breasts water pour on the passing of every 5 minutes. Every quarter hour, steam hiss from her ears as a symbol of the ocean's mists. At the change of the watch, 2 wooden knights exchange blows, and many other strange mechanical functions do things that are not easily understood. On that particular day, the sun was shining, gleaming on the 2 brass globes that keep water for the steam boiler. By the 3 bronze legs wrapped with vines of hops and vine stalks, a magnificent pendulum forming the heart of the Chronolob is lashed with hempen ropes. These ropes were burned off right at the noon hour when the sunlight through a burn lens would reach the fibers of the hemp. At the grand opening, the pillar father of the Church of Castique climbed up to the podium to declare the thing opened, and ropes would be burned off then at precisely the moment of noon. But the glow started just a moment before, and the people were awed. But the giant pendulum swung away and stopped, and then it turned back and hit the pillar father over the head so hard that his blood splattered all over it. That scattered the people, who ran as chickens from the town square, and rumors spread that the Colossus was walking through the city butchering women and children. But it was still on its firmament. Only the pillar father looked glass-eyed towards the swinging pendulum as he lay with a piece of death upon him. So that was the dramatic inauguration of the chronolob.
So it's deeply cursed. Got it.
And it's still measuring the time in Tricilve and doing strange things every once in a while. Nobody knows what, because again, the maker is dead and can't explain what any of these mechanisms mean. Astromancers are studying it for signs of foretelling the future.
Yes, let's let the deeply cursed object tell the future.
Right? That's perfect. Nothing can go wrong. And on that note, we will end tonight's intermission and return into actually 1 week, because we were supposed to be on last week. So we'll see if we can be on again in a week. And so on. Yes, there we are. Thank you, everyone.
Good night, folks.
And everyone.